Ahead on Fishing Australia, a whole new perspective on Queensland's Sunshine Coast. It's one of Queensland's most favoured destinations, attracting visitors from across the country to bathe and bask in an endless summer. It's no wonder they call it the Sunshine Coast. Just an hour's drive north of Brisbane, the sunny coast is a haven for beach lovers, adventurers, gourmet groupies, and of course anglers. It's a wonderland where the old saying has long been that on the Sunshine Coast, it's only 20 minutes to anywhere. But there's another dimension to time here. The dream time. I'm meeting up with Kerry Neal, a representative of the Gubbi Gubbi people, the traditional owners of this corner of Queensland for some 20,000 years. Kerry is taking me on a journey to show me how the Gubbi Gubbi are connected to this region, and it begins way up here. Mount Coolum is a must-do hike for visitors to the Sunshine Coast. You need to be reasonably fit to tackle this track, but the experience is clearly worth the effort.
You know, this is a beautiful place, isn't it, Rob?
Oh, you're taking my breath away, mate.
Mate, we'll start with a bit of perspective, you know, like, it's just, if you want to take your hat off, yeah. For me, when I take my hat off, it's just a bit of respect, you know, for the place that we're at, you know, because if you have a look where we are, it's kind of like, it kind of shows everything. It's actually a real story place this year. It's a real story place. You can see the Glass House, you can see Majimba, you can see Nindari, and you can see Noosa. You can see all those different places. This place here, Mount Coolum, man, it's a very special part of not only Gubbi Gubbi, you know, history and people. It's actually a very famous place all over the Sunshine Coast. And to be honest, when my people, when they look at this mountain, we're reminded that we should share. You can imagine today we're going to go down to that island over there, and we're just going to go down on the beachfront there, and we're going to get some pippies and cook up a little bit of a feed there, and, you know, just have a little bit of a fun, mate, you know, like try to have a relaxing day. That's what the coast is about, you know, like coming up here and bring the family and relax.
Majimba is one of the Sunshine Coast's more secluded beaches. My youngest daughter Zoe has joined us to probe the shore for pippies and to learn about the land along the way.
A lot of the plants that are around this area are actually really, really useful for Gubbi Gubbi people. And our ancestors have used them for thousands and thousands of years. And this one here, it don't look like much, and it's pretty much a...
I walk straight past this all the time, yeah.
Mate, it's pretty much a bit of a weed to most people. It's bracken fern. But what people don't realise is that when we crush it and the sap that comes out of it, if we collect that sap and we've got a green ant bite or we've got an ant bite, this sap, once applied to that sting, will instantly make that sting go away for 99% of the people.
Really?
Yeah, mate, it really, really works. Hey, it's fair income. Well, Rob, I tell you what, there's a heap of plants around here that have heaps of cultural significance. I'll tell you what, Mijim is this thing here, and Ba in Gubbi Gubbi language is place of. So Majimba is actually the place of this thing here, and it's named after it. They have a very, very, very beautiful white speckly berry, and they're actually really, really, really tasty. So, mate, next time you're around this place, if you see this one, it's got some white berries, make sure you grab one and have a try.
I'm going to pick one up on the way back from fishing all the way to fishing. I can't wait to try that.
It's going to be good.
Geez, we're learning heaps. Come on, Zoe.
Yo, let's go. This is one of my favourite parts of the day. We'll go straight in and we might be able to see some little tiny holes in the ground. So we need to go out in the water a little bit. So here's usually a pretty good little inkling. So we want that kind of stuff, want this kind of stuff here. See, some pippy shells are already here. Yep. So some couple of good shells and stuff like that. Here we go. So these pippies, see, that's what we're actually looking for, mate.
Yeah, okay.
So look at those ones. What do you reckon, Zoe?
It's your turn now.
Good.
Find one, Zoe.
Zoe, pick it up, bub.
Hey, I got one.
That's a good one, Zoe. Pick that one up.
With a pot full of pippies, Kerry's next lesson was more culinary than cultural.
This is one thing that we prepared earlier for you, buddy. We got some pots here. Want to cook these pippies up, mate. You know, like we've got some good fresh pippies around here. You know, just chuck in a bit of sauce, bit of chilli, homemade chilli. I make the best homemade chilli.
A tasty end to a day that took us from the mountains to the sea. And to discover more about the food, travel and accommodation in this region, check out visitsunshinecoast.com. This part of the Sunshine Coast is one of my favourite destinations. It's just special, with so many beaches and aquatic adventures on offer. One of the most popular places to stay here is the moorings at Golden Beach. This newly refurbished luxury resort offers some of the best waterfront accommodation on the coast, with stunning views and a range of spacious, self-contained apartments, perfect for singles, couples or families. For more information, just go to mooringsbeachresort.com.au. I've been fishing the many waterways of the Sunshine Coast for years now, and while it's often been with a kayak or boat, this time I'm jet-powered. Jet ski fishing, yes, it's a thing. Been trying to keep it a secret, but the cat's well and truly out the bag now, because in some scenarios it is absolutely brilliant. For example, along the east coast alone there's hundreds of bars that are hard to navigate in a boat for much of the time, yet you can get out more often in a jet ski because they're nimble and quick and can navigate that surf. And when you get out into the ocean, you've got more of the fishing all to yourself. And did I mention they're a whole heap of fun? Let's go. Woo! When you're chasing tuna schools, you don't want to be chasing them into the wind. You want to give them a wide berth so you don't spook them. Pull upwind of them, cut the motor, let them come to you because they generally feed into the wind. And you also get a longer cast because you've got the wind at your back. And what I'm going to cast at these tuna is this baby here, the twitching lure. When those two trebles come in contact with the water, that's what makes it flash and buzz with that patented VibraStrike technology. It's a cracking lure, look at it. Got a really good action at a slow speed too, and it casts quite well. You've seen us catch barramundi, lots of murray cod, queenfish and trevally of course love it. Now it's the turn of the long-tailed tuna to smash this lure. I just got to wait for him to come to me and get a nice long cast out. And unlike a metal slug, which you generally wind a lot quicker, this thing has a really good action at a slow speed, wobbles really nicely. But you can also just let it sit in the school and let it buzz away and they'll smash it like that as well. And it wasn't long before I spotted what I'd been waiting for, a bust up on the surface. The main thing I've got to watch here now is that sharks don't turn up, and that's why I've got the 30-pound braid and 30-pound leader on at the moment. Make a bit faster work of them. You go down to 20, I'm using to steer the boat, or the Sea-Doo in this case. If you go down to 20, you can be fighting them for half an hour to an hour. This is a good sized longtail. Fingers crossed I can get him for you. They're a beautiful fish, magnificent fish, great eating. Really want to show you a big Sunshine Coast longtail. All right, Mr. Sunshine Coast longtail. Oh, come on. I'm gonna just get down there and grab her on the tail. All right. Oh, I've got her. Look at that. 15 kilos of prime Sunshine Coast longtail tuna. Look, he's absolutely scoffed that twitching lure down. It's still buzzing there. Fantastic fun, great table fish, beautiful in small chicken nugget sized cutlets, and of course that's sashimi. And that's why they make those big boxes on the back up here, so you can fit tuna like this in. Oh, I'm absolutely pumped. Oh boy, love it. If you'd like to learn about this twitching lure and the special offers available, just go to globalshop.com.au or call 1300 792 286. Ahead on Fishing Australia, we trek inland for a spot on the river. The enviable lifestyle of the Sunshine Coast is defined by its diversity. Whether you're a beach lover or a nature fan, it's all here in abundance. Quaint villages like Mullaney, a hub for the arts and crafts, are on the doorstep of breathtaking scenery. Overlooking the Glasshouse Mountains, Mullaney's Botanic Gardens offer 4 kilometres of easy walking paths. If your appetite for adventure is a little more ambitious, there's Condalilla National Park. Just a short drive from Montville, the park is home to a walk that takes you through rainforest and across creeks to breathtaking views of the Obi Obi Valley. From the lookout, it's a short hike down to the cascading falls. For more information about the many parks and walks and all the other activities you can enjoy on the Sunshine Coast, check out visitsunshinecoast.com. Out here, mate. That's it. Beautiful.
Nice.
Bit of adventure.
It is, mate, yeah.
Well, here we are in the Mooloolah Valley, and a couple of spots I've never been to before. Coming in on the ATV, and I've got with me good friend Robbie Grace.
Hey,
Robbie
Robbo.
of Fishing Australia, mate.
Thanks, mate.
He's the inventor of the fish ski box you see on the back there, which are amazing for fish skis and also ATVs. A little bit more about that later, but first a bit of fishing. We've got some holes along the river here that we're going to go and explore and see what we might catch, mate.
Yeah, a magical spot, Robbo. Mate, what are we going to catch?
That remains to be seen. Let's grab the rods and find out. The spot we're fishing is in the Mooloolah Valley, renowned for its natural beauty and an abundance of rich local produce. First little hole here, Gracie. And the strategy is I've got a lure on and I'm going to move along the holes. I've rigged this up so you can base yourself on one of these deeper holes and spend a bit longer because the fish will sniff their way upstream to find a bait like that. That's just a garden worm on there. I've got that on a size 2.0 Gamakatsu fine wire hook so it doesn't break the worm. Very strong in case you catch something big because there's golden perch, bass, big eels, catfish, all sorts of things in here, mate. I don't know what you're going to catch.
Nice, nice.
But we have a backup plan if we don't get anything, don't we? Come on. In addition to creating the fish ski box, Rob Grace is also a chef, although I don't think he would have been overly enticed by this culprit. Gracie.
Oh, it's an eel, mate. Look at that. I've got the snag. I've got the snag. You've got the eel.
I couldn't resist coming back to this little spot here and seeing how Rob's going on the bait, because when the water's murky like this, sometimes the bait's better. Fish will find a lure in murky water. They can feel that vibration, but hey, I just had a little bit of steak there left over in the bait kit, and worst comes to worst, you can just about always catch one of these guys, but you'll get catfish as well on the steak, and sometimes we've had really good catches of golden perch. At times.
How much bigger do these grow than this?
Mate, I knew it was an eel because the line was doing that in the water. They get a lot bigger. This is a small, middle-sized guy, but you reckon they're all right to cook up?
Yeah, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to do some bit of Cajun style cooking on the old eel.
There's our reel. If there's one fish that I don't like, it's these guys. For obvious reasons, they're slimy and they look like a snake. But hey, if that's if that's the best we get, it might be our lunch and dinner. It's a start, mate.
It is. Awesome.
Yeah, here we go. Long-fin eel. It was Rob's turn next, and from behind the foliage, he came up with this little guy. There we go. Let's bring that around here and show the boys. Legend. Oh. Well, there you go. A beautiful Aussie bass. Robbie caught that on an unweighted worm. We took the sinker off. They're a fantastic sports fish, but we get over here, mate, if you can.
Yeah.
We tend to.
I'm hiding behind the bushes there.
Yeah, we let them go. They're a great sports fish, and they stock them in the impoundments around here. And these are sort of middle-sized one. They do get a lot bigger. Hard fighting, though, hey.
Yeah, yep, pound for pound, they're pretty good.
All right, we'll get this bass back in the water. And you can keep up with all the action, adventure and excitement from our travels by going to the fishingaustralia.tv website. You'll find tips to help you land that dream catch, plus info about our destinations. And make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I'm exploring Queensland's Sunshine Coast, and I've settled on a spot in the Mooloolah Valley with my mate Rob Grace. Apart from being a keen angler and a chef, Gracie is also the creator of the new fish ski box. He'll tell us a little bit more about that later, but for now, I'm dropping into the river to see what's beneath the surface. The eels are getting bigger. Whee, just through the bait. That's a fair lunk of eel, this guy here. I don't know if I'll even be able to lift him, and that's why I've got the slightly heavier gear, because you do get some bigger fish in here, but there he is there in the water. He's about 4 foot long and as thick as your arm. All right, mate. Now the best thing to do here is, if you don't want to get him up, is just to grab below the sinkers like that and give it a quick like that, and away he goes. Gracie.
Bravo.
Just eels, mate, since you're bass.
Is that it?
Yeah, yeah, so no real luck, but yeah, hopefully we don't go hungry.
No, that's all good, mate. I've got it all sorted.
You have?
Yeah, I've been up there prepping all the food for us, mate, so we're not going to starve, put it that way.
Good, that's what I like to hear.
Anyway, so I'm going to show you up and try and catch another bass then, eh?
You can have another crack? Geez, talk about no pressure. That's the way to do it. What, it hasn't set the world on fire here, but I'm glad I come and had a bit of a look, because this river, it's just rained and that's why it's murky. On the right day, the Mooloolah River here can clear right up and you can actually see bass and other fish swimming around. So I'll be back to check that out. But I'm not regretting coming and seeing the place. Gracie?
No, I've never been here, and I'll tell you what, I'm definitely coming back.
That's beautiful.
No? After catching the perch.
Yeah, you are well in front now. Meanwhile, it's time for an adventure of a culinary kind, mate. Look at this.
Okay, we're having some beautiful local oysters. We've got some Moreton Bay bugs there.
The famous Moreton Bay bugs, yeah.
Yeah. We've got some Maloney cream to have with our linguine later.
Just up the road.
Yep. Yandina garlic, Yandina onions.
Yeah.
Kilkeevan organic avocados.
Mate, great produce, fantastic part of the world. Well, what are we doing?
Okay, well, to start with, I've made a pistachio mix out of these organic tomatoes, and we can have ourselves an oyster shot. Straight down the hatch.
So we've got the pasta going, the bugs are going on soon. What's in the box, mate?
Well, all sorts of things there, Robbo. This is a jet ski box that's been adapted to the ATV market. So it's going to be the latest thing for, I suppose, recreational fishermen.
Yes.
Private property owners, that sort of thing. They can stick this on the back of their box and they can take their catch home nice and cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It has revolutionised jet ski fishing, and I just can't wait to see what people with ATVs do with this thing, because it means you can take cold drinks, food, have a picnic like we are here.
Absolutely.
Carry your rods. It's an unreal product. We've got the jerry cans on the back, the spare fuel.
Yep.
And you colour match these to the vehicle, right?
Yeah, we're the only ones in the world doing it so far.
So whatever colour ATV or jet ski you got, or ute for that matter.
Yep.
They're an amazing product. It just means we can carry so much more gear, so more comfortably, yeah.
Yeah, and you can take a nice cold lunch with you wherever you go.
They're madly popular with jet ski market, right?
They are. Yeah, jet ski fishing is becoming more and more popular, just as much as the ATV market. You know? So we've seen a significant growth in figures.
You've been jet ski fishing a long time, Robbie. Is this how the idea came about?
Yeah, born out of necessity.
Yep.
Going across the Noosa Bar, which is getting shallower all the time.
Yeah.
the boaties find it a bit hard, so and I did myself.
Yep.
So now it's the jet ski is becoming a bigger, modern, more capable machine.
Yep. Where can people find out more?
Okay, they can go to fishski.com.au.
Yep.
And follow the links there.
Magnificent. Gracie, we forgot the eel, mate.
Who cares? Who cares about that? Look what we're having.
Absolutely. Let's hook in, mate. It was the perfect end to a sunny coast day. Next time on Fishing Australia, part 2 of our Sunshine Coast adventure. I think it's what we're looking for.